Hello, loved ones. Thank you for joining me today. And if you're new to the channel, then welcome to the family. Today, we will review Married at First Sight Season 16, Episode 3, Couples Review for Airris and Jasmine. This episode was called Music City Matrimony. To be a part of the congregation, please subscribe. To be part of the conversation, please comment. And to be a part of today's offering, please drop a like in the collection plate. And with that, let's get started. Last week, I did not post about Jasmine and Airris. I did tape my review of the episode. I just did not have time to edit and post it. This episode did not bring a lot of content for this couple. Therefore, I will insert my episode 2 review in this video and then come back to share my thoughts for episode 3. I will post the timestamps in the description box to separate the episodes just in case you are passionate about one or the other. Jasmine and Airris. So we find Jasmine and Airris and they are wedding shopping. And I really felt like the theme of their wedding shopping was parents because they both had something to say about their parents. For Jasmine, she let us know that her mom had battled breast cancer a couple of months ago and that she was just happy to be there with her mom. And, they didn't know that if she was going to be around or if she's going to make it through that ordeal. And she was just grateful to be there with her mom. And I thought that was so wonderful. And also just to see, life is quick. And we need to enjoy people while we can. So I was glad she was able to enjoy that moment with her mom. And for Arris, he reflected on his father not being there. And he felt a void and not sure if he is man enough since he did not have that for himself. His dad passed away in 1994. He was murdered. And Arris was 11 when that happened. So it was really interesting to see both of them reflect on their parents. I'm sure that that is an area that they can bond on and, just bond in a way that they know for Jasmine, the anticipation of loss, and for Arris, just a total loss. So condolences to Arris, and I know that you never really get over the death of a loved one, especially your parent. Our parent always holds a special place in our heart. So I was actually really glad for him to reflect on his relationship with his dad because I feel like that is how we keep the memory and the person alive in our hearts. So condolences to Arris. Arris's friend's name was Cheese. I thought that was interesting. I'm assuming that's a nickname, but one of his friends' names was Cheese. And then he talked about how he had tried dating apps and slid into people's DMs and he looking for something permanent that will last forever. And he's looking forward to having offsprings. And I don't know, I never believed that about men because I think it's easier for he who finds a wife to find a wife. And I feel like if, there's a lot of great women out here. And I don't know, I don't really buy that. Let me know what you think. If you think he just couldn't find a good wife, he may have found some great wives, but then he messed it up because we see that he talks about his character in terms of dating in a very negative way. And he talks about it a lot and his friends talk about it a lot. So I didn't think that was, I don't know. Let me know what you think. So Jasmine is looking to look like a bride and not a pageant girl because she tries on a lot of dresses. She wants her husband to be patient, compassionate, and look like he's been to the gym because on a good day, she looked like she's been. So I thought that was cute. She chose the second dress that they showed us. And yeah, that was pretty much it for the wedding attire shopping. Let me know what you think about their bonding in terms of them both speaking upon their parents. We then see them get ready for their wedding day, and Jasmine is concerned about the awkwardness that could occur when meeting Arris's family and friends. She feels like love can be learned, and she has learned to love in many of her past relationships. I love that. Love can be learned, and you do learn to love someone. I think love is a choice, and it's a choice that we make by action, and we make it every day. I love that they took a moment to pray. Of course, I was just enamored. She says she comes from a spiritual background, and the fact that her sister took time to pray and that they showed it. And I really love the prayer that her sister prayed for her soon-to-be mate. She says she comes from a Christian background and that divorce would be a big deal. So she is going to try everything in her power to make this marriage work. And she is going to give it 3,000% to make this marriage work. So we will see if Princess Jasmine is going to keep up on her commitment. She seems like a very sweet girl. I don't know. They all seem very, very nice this season, the women. They're kind-hearted. So I don't really feel like there's a lot of drama. Not even from Domynique, although some people do. I don't see her that way. So we'll see. Arris says bye to the streets. He says he is ready to settle down and be committed in a relationship. He indicates that he has been to therapy and he's read books that help him become ready. And I love that because in the preseason, they talked about how he had done the work. And I was like, they didn't say what the work was. So I didn't hear of him doing any work at all. So the fact that he has been to therapy and he has been reading books and things that help him to learn how to make sure that he is ready, get his mind right for this, I think it's great. And I hope that he is a Woody and that he is ready for this journey of marriage and ready to make it work. I think he will, at least for the 8 weeks. And honestly, he's 39. Come on now, he's 39, so he should be ready to settle down with someone. But they then bring in, as they are getting ready to go, and he is getting ready to walk out to meet his bride, to stand at the altar and wait for his bride. His cousin Felina comes to give him one more chance to just leave it all and run away from this mess. She is ready with the car full of gas, with her foot on the pedal and ready to go, which I think is fine. I love that he lets her speak her mind and also validates her concern and validates that this is something crazy and he is taking a chance. She says that he has a lot of hope and she wouldn't play with her life like that based on hope. But I like that he acknowledges that her concern is real, because I feel like on other episodes, very much so like Justin, where they act like this is normal and there's not a chance involved. So I like that he validates what she says. So that was the end of Airris and Jasmine. We just saw Arris stuck there deciding whether he was going to run or not. And we know that he stayed and they get married. So the buildup wasn't all that. But what do you think about Jasmine and Arris? What do you think about them bonding over their parents? Have you ever had a loss or experienced a loss that you're still dealing with today? Let us know, and we will pray for you if you let us know in the comment section. What did you think about Jasmine's mom and her overcoming cancer? I think that is so wonderful. So we will be keeping her in our prayers. Hopefully she is doing well, because that is just, it's amazing. But one thing I will say about cancer, it used to be a death sentence, but now we have found so many advancements in it that you can just live on. And I love that. And I'm so grateful to God that He has provided those answers for that particular ailment. So let me know what you think in the comment section about this couple, Jasmine and Arris. Now, let's move into episode 3. It opens with Arris in the hallway, still talking with his cousin, Felina. She indicates that it's laughable that he is going to marry a stranger. He says that she has him fighting for his marriage already. Then we see the magic happens. He asked her for what he needed by saying, "Do you have anything helpful or positive to say?" What I loved about this moment is he heard her out and validated her points instead of trying to defend the crazy idea that marrying a stranger is normal. Then we see him tired of it, and he turns the situation around by asking for what he needs. I love that Felina complied with his request and granted him positive words by saying, "You say you love Black women? That's what you do. You stand by this Black woman and you be committed to what you say." They embrace and she goes to take her seat. I loved it. I think it's normal on a wedding day, even for those of us who know each other, for family and friends to say, "Are you sure about this? You're making a lifetime commitment. Speak now or forever hold your peace." I'm glad she held him to the fire to ensure he knew the commitment that he was making. And I love that Arris is so sure of his decision that he was willing to defend his marriage even before he says, "I do." It was a great interaction between family. Now, what I didn't like is Arris saying that if the woman coming down the aisle is total opposite of what he asked for, then he might have to give his cousin the look like, can they still get out of here? Arris should talk to Alyssa, who already tried to get out of the Married at First Sight contract. He can run to the getaway car if he wants to, but that's gonna cost him. Oh my, did you all see the pastor giving Arris the once over? He looked him up and down. It really made sense when we learned that this was Jasmine's actual childhood pastor. Next, we see Jasmine preparing to approach the altar. I must say, for me, I loved her dress the best. She looked absolutely beautiful. Jasmine's parents come to greet her, and Dad's prayer is that God will provide a mate that is a helper. Now, Dad, did we get that scripture wrong? The Bible says the wife is supposed to be the helpmate. Genesis 2:18, and the Lord God said, "It is not good that the man should be alone. I will make a helpmeet for him." So I think that Jasmine is supposed to be the helpmeet for Arris. But you guys let me know what you guys think about that. But Jasmine says that her dad is very traditional and divorce is not an option for her. She is going to give 3,000% to make this work. Jasmine didn't seem nervous before she went down the aisle. She seemed ready and confident. We then move on to Jasmine's walk down the aisle. I love that Arris clapped when he saw her. For me, that was a sign of approval. He noticed her height right away, and it looks like she is a little taller than him in heels. So for me, depending on the heel, I can be taller than my husband. I'm between 5'6" and 5'7", and he is about 5'9". So on my wedding day, I had a cute pair of decorated slippers, so I would not be taller than him in any of our pictures. And it worked out great. Not only was the height right, but also I was very, very comfortable. Jasmine and Arris grabbed hands as soon as she arrived at the altar. And I loved it. That breathed connection. I loved it. We then move on to hear what Jasmine's family and friends would like Arris to know. Jasmine is a loving soul that leads with her heart. She will be your cheerleader in good times, cheering you on, even in the rocky times. Jasmine is a beautiful woman. Arris says, "Yep." The family hopes you have the ability and dedication to love her the way they know she deserves. Just don't break her heart, because your two sister-in-laws, Taylor and Emmy, will be watching like super hawks. I guess the only thing I can take from that is she is a beautiful cheerleader. However, I think Arris did say in a conversation to Dr. Pepper that he wanted someone who can cheer him on. We then move on to hear what Arris's family and friends would like Jasmine to know. They say women are better communicators, and we certainly hope that's true, because Arris is super private and communication may not be one of his best strengths. But know that he loves royally. Arris is passionate, he's driven, smart, he is all around a great man. Love on him as best you can, and we will always be there for the both of you. I don't know how I feel about them accenting the negative in the first sentence, but as we will see, Arris's lack of communication really becomes a hot topic in this episode. I like that they are willing to be there for both Arris and Jasmine, At least in words, we will see if actions follow. We then move on to Jasmine's vows. She says, in writing my vows, I thought, how can I do this genuinely when marrying a complete stranger? But somehow I found comfort in knowing that God so masterfully found another beautiful human who was fearless enough, like me, to submit to this process. Today, I want to speak to the King in you that I asked God for. Through all of the uncertainties and trials this journey may bring, I promise to be honest, faithful, and a loving wife. I promise to commit and dedicate myself to the growing of our relationship, praying that one day it will lead to unconditional love. I liked her vows, and I love that she is saying that one day it will lead to unconditional love, which is the goal of all of us. I love that she spoke to the King in him. I think that indicates expectations, and sometimes when you ascribe a positive attribute to someone, they will try to rise to the occasion. The minister says, boy, you better bring it. And Arris says that it's like dunking after Vince Carter. I think that was a really cute moment, and that broke the ice and the tension. And it also showed a little bit of Arris's personality. We then move on to Arris's vows. He says, love is giving someone the power to destroy you, but trusting that they won't. I vow to trust you. Love is seeing something in someone that they don't see in themselves. I vow to see you. I vow to be your teammate because we are in this together. I vow not to get frustrated when you can't decide on what you want to eat, and I vow to always share my food. He started off great, but it ended very flat. I don't even know what to think about the whole conversation about food. I mean, to be in your wedding vows, I personally thought that was lame. But the first two lines were life. Giving someone the power to destroy you speaks about being vulnerable, and I think that that is what you do in relationships. You give of yourself and you don't know how that other person is going to handle it or treat it, or it is just, that was great. I think that for me was the line of the day, and it's so true. So they're married and they both went in for the first kiss. They look happy, shimmering down the aisle as a married couple. We then see their first conversation after the wedding. Did Arris say in his cameo that he thinks the hard part is over? That sounds like someone who just got married. The easy part is over, and his marriage just got real. Arris thinks Jasmine is beautiful, and Jasmine thinks Arris is cute and easy on the eye. Jasmine thinks they are possibly the same height when she does not have on heels. Let's look at what they learn about each other in their first conversation. Arris learns that Jasmine has 3 siblings. She has 4 dogs. She has a dog breeding business. She is a cheerleading coach, and she is 32. Arris responded to me like anyone would. 4 dogs is a lot. He is already eating his words of this is going to be easy, because now he sees that they will have a lot to deal with. Jasmine learns that Arris has the only child syndrome. He is spoiled, stubborn, but willing to work on it, and he is 39. They then take their wedding photos, and we then move into the discussion at the reception. Jasmine starts him out right and asks him to pray over the food. I loved it, and he did a beautiful prayer. We have not heard Arris say anything about his stance on religion. Therefore, I'm interested to see how that part of their relationship works out. Arris shares that he does not eat meat, and I love that Jasmine asked if he would be offended if she enjoyed her meal, and he said no. They find out that they have completely opposite schedules. Arris works days and Jasmine evenings. This may work out great because they both can have their alone time, and since Arris appears to be a loner, he will need that time by himself. Jasmine tells Arris she has 9 puppies right now. And Arris does not want a shelter at his house and is considering reporting her to the county secretly. I know low-key Arris was playing, but what would you do if you were in Arris's position? I am not a dog person or an animal person in that case. This would be a big deal for me. I would not want 4 dogs and definitely not 13 dogs. I think I could deal with the 9 puppies better than I could the 4 dogs. Someone correct me because I don't really know a lot about dogs, but I think that puppies just stay mostly in one place until they are a few weeks old and then they can be adopted. That seems like a short time commitment, where the 4 dogs is just, to me, a lot and long term. So what do you guys think? Do you guys think that Jasmine should be willing to give up some of her dogs? Maybe it is normal in the dog community to have a lot of dogs. She did say that she got the dogs because every time she wanted a kid, then she would replace it with a dog. But now, since she's married and she'll have that affection and attention from another person, maybe she won't need all 4 of the dogs. I don't know if she would be willing to give a dog up. I know some people have a deep affection, but let me know what you would do if you was in Arris's situation. And let me know if you are a dog person or if you like me. I'm not even an animal person, so I guess, yeah, I would not. Like, if they match me with somebody who like dogs or any animals, I don't think I could. I don't know what I would do, honestly. We then see Arris talking to Jasmine's sisters and cousin. They indicate that Jasmine is not good at communicating if she thinks it's going to be a confrontation. She will not say anything if she thinks the person will be angry. Arris says he used to be terrible at communication, but he has gotten better. And Taylor hopes that Arris can put his foot down because sometimes Jasmine needs to be brought back to reality. Not sure what that means, but if I was Arris, I would bring her back to reality, and she would have to get rid of a few of those dogs. She could keep the 9 puppies because she is going to sell them soon, and that's part of making some income, but I don't know. I think he should put his foot down about the dogs. In this conversation, they learn that he has not been in a serious relationship and never lived with a woman before. This will be new to him, and he is the only child and used to having things his way. On the surface, I don't understand why this was a big deal. Do you have to be in a lot of relationships to make a marriage work? My husband was my first serious relationship, and here we are, 25 years later. Now, the thing that is disturbing is that Arris is almost 40, and he deemed himself as being a person who hops from person to person. I guess I would wonder why there was no strong ties to anyone. Generally, it would not bother me if they were intimate on the first night. It's their spouse, so who cares? However, for Jasmine, I hope they wait, because Arris's history of getting with women and moving to the next one without attachment could become a problem, and he could see Jasmine as just another woman he has been intimate with. I really think Jasmine needs to show him something different and make him wait so that they can grow intimacy outside of the bedroom. Jasmine's sisters say their family is big and involved but not invasive. I like that. I think family should be involved in our life and our relationships. I think it gives accountability as long as they are not invasive. However, I think very few families are successful at being involved without causing a rift in the relationship. So we will see how this family and Jasmine deals with their interaction in their relationship. We then see Jasmine talking with Felina and Arris's mom, Lori. Felina tells her thoughts of thinking this is crazy. She thinks Jasmine's answers are rehearsed answers because she comes from the pageant world. Jasmine says she likes things her way and she wants to be married and know it takes a lot of compromise, and she knows that things are not going to be perfect. Neither Felina or Mama Lori look excited about this conversation. They were looking like this is too much and that Jasmine was talking too fast. They appear to be uninterested to me. Now, I have been very patient with cousin Felina, but her not trusting Jasmine because she participates in pageants, that was team too much. Do we have to participate in pageants to be able to answer a question intelligently? I like Jasmine, and because I think she is facing public scrutiny, I'm possibly a little more protective of Jasmine. So cousin Felina, she better back off. And honestly, I hope this is the last that we hear about her not wanting Arris to marry a stranger. I can understand all the way leading up to the wedding, but it's done now. He's already did it, so I think that you should bury it and leave it alone. At this point, it's already done. So I hope when they have the family meetup, and I'm sure she is going to be one of the people, I really don't want to hear this about her not being supportive anymore. At this point, the support needs to just kick in. He's already made his decision. He went through with it. So now I had no problem before the wedding, but at this point after the wedding, it's a done deal. Keep your mouth shut and be supportive. So that is what I am going to expect from cousin Felina going forward. We then see them talk to their own friends and family, and we get the producer's question. Where do you fall on the scale of 1 to 10? Now, both groups were very smooth with it and was able to introduce the question in a natural way. But you know that was a producer's question because it was too on point in terms of the subject matter. Jasmine gave Arris a 9.5 because no one is perfect. Arris gave Jasmine a solid 8 because they asked him and stated that Beyonce is a 10. Arris says it's hard to match Beyonce. I loved his friends. They said, terrible answer. It's your wife and she is a 10, regardless of who she is up against. I love that. Right on, friends. Keep him honest and accountable and teach him how to be married. But then we see disrespectful Arris rise his head again. He says if he could have it his way, Jasmine would be on her knees on their wedding night. I thought that was terrible, disrespectful, and definitely makes me look at Arris differently. I did not like that, and I didn't think it was funny. I thought it was very disrespectful and something you should not say about your just now wife. So our last scene for Airris and Jasmine was them leaving the venue. I love their exit in the pink Barbie-like convertible with the glittery church tambourines. It was a great exit. It looked like they had a lot of chemistry. It looked like they really did enjoy their wedding day. Well, that's all we have for this couple. What did you think? Are you looking at Arris with a side eye for his disrespectful comments like I am? Is Jasmine capturing your heart, or am I just being fooled? What would you say about 13 Dogs? Let me know what you think in the comments. Please check out Shaquille and Kirsten next. And with that, until next time, please like, comment, and subscribe. And remember, live with intention. Be intentional.